Yo, what's going on, guys? So I'm gonna be doing a quick review from Friday for my live stream. Okay, so I think this is a good review because there was a play in here that I did kind of hesitate taking. That I was like, okay, this is a textbook long setup, but do I really want to take it? Probably not, because my bias was short at the time. Okay, but there is a little, even though my bias was short, we still got a nice move short. Okay, so it wasn't like it's a loss. It's just the final take profit number hit. Okay, so what happened was, if we look, this is all hindsight, but this is all live time in my live stream. Okay, if we look at like the 5-minute now, okay, look at this. We have these equal lows down here, right? So to me, this was sell side. To me, we're gonna hit these equal lows. Was I aware that we did hit these lows right here? Yes, I was. So this was internal sell side. I was aware we hit them, and whenever we hit internal sell side, okay, you usually get a bigger retracement than just a little pop, right? And again, because we hit internal sell side, the overnight low, I knew it was risky. Okay, so if I just take up a side by side with NQM, okay, I'll show you guys NQM. Okay, if we zoom out here, I also showed this. So there's two things I showed in the morning. Okay, so on NQ, I saw we did not hit the low. Okay, so what I said was this could be a potential play. Okay, out of this 15-minute fair value gap, I think it was a 5-minute. And I saw the SMT up here. Okay, so I'll explain that in a second. And I was like, okay, this would probably be your potential play. And I said the stop would be above this high right here. So if you look close, I said the stop would be above this high, right? So that was my stop. This is the play. And it ended up hitting. Okay, we went back to break even a lot. It ended up hitting. So once we hit sell side there, again, what do we look for as ICT students? What do we look for after we hit some sort of sell side? We look for a long setup, right? So I kind of knew we hit it, but I was like, I feel I want more in ES. I know NQ hit it. So what happened was, here was the short setup I kind of showed it was a good short you could have taken on NAS or on ES. Ready? So scroll back a little bit. This right here. So we rejected this for a gap. This right here was a short setup, right? So the risk to reward for this one was about a 4. Okay, stop up there. We move it down. The risk to reward was almost a 4, and it only ended up hitting 2.5 R. Okay, so what do I mean by this? Well, the entry is great. The entry was good, even though this was their final target. Okay. This was also such an obvious low where I was like, okay, as soon as you got to that low, I'm like, okay, it's probably a good idea to scale here. And people did, okay, so I said this is a good scale spot just in case we don't hit this low. Okay, but I was still expecting price to go something like this, okay? And then here's where I got into a little dilemma. So if you look, at this time, if I draw a vertical line, right? ES hit a internal low, NAS hit the external low. So on NAS, if I was not trading ES, okay, kind of talked about how I look at charts in 3D, not 2D. So I look at multiple charts that tell me the same thing, right? So because if I was only watching NAS right here, I'd be like, okay, we're 100% looking for long. We just hit the low day. It's a good job. It's a good time to look for the long. Okay, and we knew there was search and destroy conditions coming into this because if you look at the Asian range, we took out the high and low. So we knew there was supposed to be chop. Okay, so anyways, right here is when I was like, okay, NQ took the low, we took this, but I still kind of want these equal lows. Okay, and then what do I see? I see this fair value gap right here. And I was like, okay, kind of, if you're in a short, it might, like, I don't know exactly what I said, but I was kind of hesitating a little bit, my words. I was like, if you're in a short, you really maybe want to get out here. Like, this is technically a textbook long, but am I going to long it because my bias is so short? Probably not. But, like, I was like, maybe you could get 5 handles out of it. And we ended up getting 5 handles, and I tell everyone, I'm like, okay, we got 5 handles out of it. Okay, and because my bias was still short, I was like, okay, if I ever think I'm going against the bias here, I'm going to take the half profits or whatever. I'm going to take most profits at the 5 handles instead of waiting. I totally understand. If my bias was bullish here, I would have definitely waited for this, okay? I would have definitely waited for this high. But because I thought I was going opposite of the trend, I was like, if you did long this, it's probably a good idea to get out here, right? And that was 5 handles. Are still good. It's not like it was a loss or anything. But basically what I'm trying to say is there's going to be times where your full take profit is not going to end up hitting. If I'm bearish here, I want to see at least this low hit, and then maybe I'll reconsider longs. But you want to see at least this low hit. But because it didn't, I kind of hesitated. I didn't really take this long. I was going to. I ended up scalping it later, but never said anything on stream because, again, I didn't want to go against the bias. There were some people who said they're still holding one or still down here. Did we ever hit it? No. Okay, they would have gone south to break even, but it was still a W trade. But this is kind of a lesson to show you, okay, even if non-Q hits sell side, we might not hit the full take profit on ESM or ES, right? It's still fine to take the opposite trade, okay? It's still fine, but again, there's been times where I would have been turned bullish here, and this could have failed, and I'd be like, oh, I shouldn't have taken this play because my bias is bearish. I just should have followed my bias, okay? And there will be times that happens, but again, if you ever see at least one of the take profits hit, or like an internal low, and maybe your final doesn't hit, I guess it's fine. Okay, I guess it's fine to long or whatever you see after. But it's also, this is going to be a rule for some people. Some people are not going to long this. Some people will. It's just up to the person. It's up to the person and whoever's in the trade, right? Maybe they sell all their shorts here and just don't get in the long because they just got a nice short, right? So this take profit on hitting, this did not. Okay, you can see this is absolutely textbook after this, which is kind of why I was mad I didn't take it. I even pointed out this volume balance. I'm like, if we're bearish, you want to see us dump through this and use this as resistance, okay? It was also an OB. Okay, and I had this marked out, but we never dumped through it, unfortunately. Again, and then there's another fair value gap here, and I marked all these fair value gaps. I marked this, and I was like, I really want to see dump through here, but am I going to say that the order flow is bearish here? No, I literally factually said the order flow is still bullish as long as you hold these, right? So I kind of said that, but did I enter because my bias was still, I thought we were going to hit these lows? No, I did not, okay? So it's kind of just a thing that's going to happen to you sometimes. It's not like it was a loss or anything. My bias was still on point. It's just we didn't get that extra 8 points I thought we were going to get before maybe longing again, okay? So, and then once you see these candles again, you never want to fade these candles. I was like, okay, now we got these candles. There's no way like we're just going to dump through them that easily, and you can see we never did. Okay, we bounced right off this one. Again, I showed the footprint charts of this. This was pretty stacked. There's a ton of buy orders in there. And I'm never going to fade a candle like this, even if I'm bearish. I'm just going to kind of wait and wait for new structure to form, okay? Because I don't really long these. You can, it is doable. You can long these giant fair value gaps, okay? But I don't like to. We barely closed under CE of it. Okay, we pretty much bounced right out the 50. If we go to like the 5 minute, we'll see real quick. We pretty much bounced right off the 50% level of that. Okay, on the 5 minute, there's no wick that ever went below it, which is nice. It obviously did it in Q a little bit. But yeah, a candle like that, I'm usually not going to fade. You can see even on like NAS, if we know it's a search and destroy day and we see, oh, we hit buy side here, right? Are you really going to long this in the first place? Probably not, okay? It ended up working anyways. Even though we hit buy side, I probably wouldn't have longed this anyways, even in hindsight. And then here's where it kind of got, I was like, okay, my prediction here, okay, my prediction was kind of this. Okay, so I thought we were going to reject this fair value gap. But what do I tell you guys about us hitting internal, and what do I tell you about this? Consolidation and then quick down move, okay? I posted this on Twitter one night. But if you ever see consolidation, super quick down move, and even though this wasn't quick, okay, this is the hour, so this was in the span of 4 hours. This is not quick. But if it looks quick on the time frame you're on, usually this means this is just a Judas swing and we go back and fill and then we hit this buy side, okay? And I kept it in the equation. I literally said in my Discord, I'm like, this does have the potential to happen, okay? I was totally aware of that, and I said, and by the time we got up to like here and we kind of broke this fair value gap, I was like, okay, yeah, we're 100% going for this low, or this high, I mean. And I actually degened into a bunch of MES cons, like 100 MES cons with a very loose stop loss and a take profit up there, so I ended up getting a nice paper trade out of that, so my demo count is up a lot from that. But okay, I never really realized we were going to hit this until we got up here, okay? But even then, I still knew we were going to hit it, and I still got a decent trade out of it. And I did actually alert a long setup. So if I look real quick, I did alert a long setup. Okay, and it was a confirmation long setup. It was actually this. So here's buy side, this black line. I saw this nice fair value gap. I was like, okay, we bounce off a higher time frame. I think this was a higher time frame fair value gap. And then here's kind of the confirmation setup, and I longed it, and immediately after longing it, I just got off for break even. Okay, it's not like I when I alerted this, I never post an alert like 5 minutes later being like, oh, I got out after we dumped to it. I literally just said like a minute later, we never, like, it was still at our entry, so there's no loss. I said I'm getting out of break even. We wicked down here pretty quickly. If you were watching price in live time, there's a major, like in 2 seconds we went from down like 3 points. It was this wick right here. I think it was like, and I was like, what the hell is that? And it looked like a lot of volume coming in the sell. So I was like, okay, I'm getting out of break even. I don't like that wick. And anything, if you feel uncomfortable at anything in a trade, just get out. Okay, it's better to get out for a break even than a loss. And my reasoning was, I know there's buy setup up here. I think we're gonna hit it, but do we really want to chase? Probably not. And some days this trade will work, some days it won't. Do I want to take the risk reward here? Probably not. It's not great because we're already so close to this high anyways. So I end up canceling that alert, and we end up hitting it later, as you can see. And then after we even hit it, we end up hitting it pretty nicely. Okay, after we hit it, we got another 5 minute fair value gap. Would I have longed that? Definitely not, because we hit my target. Okay, so we'll see Monday how we react to this. Okay, I personally think this is gonna happen. Okay, I think we're gonna reject here. Do I care? Am I gonna take a short setup if I don't see one? Probably not. I'm just gonna sit on my hands. If we get far enough above this, I think this is like a 3-hour gap or something, or I don't even know. Maybe 45 minute. Yeah, so there's a 45-minute gap. If we get far enough above this, I will say, okay, we're going for buy setter here. And will I try to chase along up here? Probably, because if we get up here with a nice candle like a 4025, we're still gonna have 15 points to go, so I could probably catch a nice scalp if I see one up to this high, right? So we'll see what Monday brings. This is gonna be my prediction as long as we hold below this. But again, I'm not gonna short if I don't see an obvious short setup, So that's kind of her prediction. We'll see what happens. It is what it is. If whatever happens, So other than that, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I just thought I would go over the review first. So yeah. Other than that, peace out and enjoy the rest of your week.